Hey there, podcast lovers. Looking for a fresh take on the world? Tune into Nikki's World, where we dive into everything hitting the headlines and chat about just what's on our minds. No filters, just real talk. Whether you're sipping your morning coffee or unwinding after a long day, Nikki's World is your go-to for genuine commentary on the real world. Subscribe now if you want to hear the real deal on what's going on. Join the conversation on Nikki's World, where every episode feels like catching up with an old friend. Don't miss out.
What's up, y'all? Let's do this. Oh, hi guys. Welcome to Nikki's World. I'm Nikki, your host, and today we gotta talk about that Indian truck driver that killed 3 people in Florida. Now there's a petition drive to demand the Florida governor reduce his sentence to community service and all that shit. Oh my God, we're gonna have to talk about that and so much more. But before we go any further, guys, if you guys love Nikki's World so much, seriously, y'all, can y'all please consider donating a cup of coffee for me? Because for a price of a cup of coffee at Starbucks, Dunkin' Donuts, and Cumberland Farms, guys, you guys help keep this podcast show alive. You guys help me curate more stories, more topics like this to talk about. I do accept Bitcoin donations. I am on Ko-fi, guys. If you guys want to support, sponsor, donate, and tip to Nikki's World. If you guys love Nikki's World so much, seriously, y'all, please hit that like, subscribe, please give me a review. Good, bad, and the ugly. Also, guys, I do have a bunch of affiliate links. First off is Minds.com. Minds.com is a Connecticut based social media platform. They are an awesome alternative to Facebook. So if you guys value your right to freedom of speech like I do, guys, and you guys want to be able to say stuff without fear of being blocked, suspended, and deplatformed, well then head on over to my friends at Minds.com. Also, guys, I do have the most awesome, and I mean awesome, affiliate link with Byrna.com. Byrna.com is the less lethal self-defense company, guys. They make your top-of-the-line Byrna SD, Byrna LE, TCR, Mission 4, and their newest compact launcher, guys. So if you guys value your right to self-defense and the Second Amendment, but you guys want to do it in a less lethal manner, guys, well then, head on over to my friends at Byrna.com. Also, guys, I do have the most awesome affiliate link with North Shore Medical Supply. North Shore Medical Supply makes their top of the line Megamax diaper, their North Shore Supreme pull-ups, and their Turner boosters, guys. So if you know somebody out there that needs to wear adult diapers and that needs to be put in adult diapers like I do, guys, well then, send them on over to North Shore Medical Supply and they will make sure they are padded up. And before we get this show on the road, literally, guys, if you guys love this episode and any of my other episodes on Nikki's World, seriously, y'all, seriously, can y'all please consider sharing this across all the social media platforms that are out there today? Wow, yeah. It's Monday, and yeah, today I'm not in my diaper today because it's been like humid and warm out there, so I'm giving my butt a chance to air out. So yeah, I'm just usually in my regular clothes as always. So anyway, let's get on with the show, shall we? So today, guys, I want to talk about. I got like four articles from the Red State, from the New York Post, Post Millennial, and Gateway Pundit. What do these four articles have in common? The insanity of the people of India who think that this truck driver who killed three people in Florida deserves leniency. I'm like this to the people of India. Are you fucking out of your damn mind? Are you fucking insane here, folks? Are you really that insane? I'll read you this article from Gateway Pundit. The insanity. Over 2.3 million people signed a petition begging for clemency for the illegal truck driver who killed three Americans, suggesting counseling and community service. Let's sit there and go like this. To the 2.3 million idiots who think that this guy deserves counseling and community service, are you out of your damn fucking mind? First of all, that truck driver who killed three people in Florida is an illegal immigrant. Second, he got his commercial driver's license from a sanctuary blue state of California that gave it to him like giving out EBT food stamps to people, giving out like warm like EBT cards like if it was candy. Are you fucking out of your damn mind? Seriously? Are you? And the 2.3 million that signed that so-called petition firmly believe, ladies and gentlemen, that those are bots from India. Those are people who like have created bot farms to create fake accounts, to create OnlyFans fake accounts or porn fake accounts. Those are the people that probably what sit. There's probably like 4, 5, or 6 people that sit in some shack in somewhere in India and have like a bank of like screens and all this, and then sign all these fake petitions with fake names. I'm like, no, no. That guy that killed three Americans, he's going to do time in prison. He's going to be sitting in a fucking prison cell in America. And then after he sits in that prison cell, we're going to deport his ass back to India, and he's never going to be allowed back into fucking America. Yeah, the fact that this guy couldn't read damn English, read or speak or write in English, but yet the left thinks that, oh, nobody's illegal. We should give everybody what they need. Yeah. And then he kills three people by making an illegal U-turn. I'm like, I'm like sitting there going like this. Are you fucking out of your damn mind? Yeah, really. And then you got this on Post Millennial. Over 1.7 million people signed petition demanding leniency for an illegal immigrant who killed three in Florida. I'll read you the paragraph from the Post Millennial. An online petition attributed to a group calling itself, I don't know, what is it, the Punjabi Youth, has drawn more than 1 million signatures calling on federal authorities to release, I don't know what the guy's name, Hanjur Singh, an undocumented immigrant truck driver convicted in a deadly car crash. But here's the problem. Those 7 million so-called signatures on the petition, they're probably fake bots. They're probably not a real person attached to it. They're probably just generated off of a bot farm. Yeah, they're not real. So I call it this bullshit. I call bullshit on it because you know why? Those so-called petition signatures are probably not even a real person. You know what I mean? They're probably some bot that wrote every Indian name in the book and not even connected to a real person. So that 1.7 that they claim, take it with a grain of salt, ladies and gentlemen. Take it with a grain of salt. Okay? And then I'll read you this headline from the New York Post. Petition supporting illegal immigrant trucker accused of killing 3 people gets 2.2 million signatures. Read you the headlines again. More than 2 million people have signed a petition calling for leniency for an Indian illegal migrant trucker accused of killing 3 people in a crash in Florida. But the problem is, the problem is those 2.2 million that signed that so-called petition aren't probably real people, in my opinion, ladies and gentlemen. They probably aren't real people. They probably aren't. They're probably bots. They're probably spam bots. And these are the same bots that come from bot farms in, say, India and China. You know, like the ones that you get spammed all the time with porn bot accounts, where they have some picture of some poor girl with some link in the description to some Indian porn site or some Chinese porn site, and then all of a sudden once you click it, it hacks and steals all your info and all that shit. Those are the ones that are signing that petition. Yeah, those are the ones. They're not attached to a real person. And this is why I always think like this. Those people who are signing that petition, that's not a real person. That's not a real individual. That's just probably some guy, some one person who probably went to a bot farm in India and China and got like paid bots to pretend to sign all these signatures, all these petitions, and all this shit. That's probably the reality of all this. Yeah. And then I love this article from the Red State. What the heck? There's a petition on behalf of an illegal alien trucker accused of vehicular homicide. And then I like the paragraph, the first 2 paragraphs. Sometimes people do things that make you say, huh? I think the news about a petition on behalf of Honduras Singh and the illegal alien accused in 3 charges of vehicular homicide might just vehicular homicide in Florida might just fall under the huh? Yeah. So a petition to what? To say, oh, he should get counseling or community service. You know, the problem I'm gonna say like this, guys. The problem I'm gonna say like this is that the people in India don't know about how crime and punishment works in America. You commit a crime, you go to prison. Don't matter who the fuck you are. Don't matter who your status is. These people in India think that, oh, he deserves community service. oh, he deserves counseling. Bull fuck shit. Bullshit. In America, you commit a crime like that, you go to prison. Now, because it's vehicular homicide, okay, that means he might be doing, I'm gonna say like this. I'm gonna say like this. For each person, it's like what, 15 years? But if they roll it all into one charge, I'm gonna say like this, he'll be doing like 15 to 20. And if he gets out in 15, ICE has already got a detainer put in place on him, which means the minute he gets put on like parole, they're gonna deport him back to India. Yeah, they are. But the funny thing is, these people who are saying they're writing this petition, they're all bots. They're not even a real person. The Indians from India. They're like the Chinese. They're manipulators. They'll manipulate the internet just so they can get sympathy and garner like respect when they don't have any. Yeah, when they don't. But the fact of the matter is, he's going to get convicted. He's going to get convicted. He's going to get put in prison, and he's going to be doing time. And we don't give a shit about where he came from. Okay? You commit a crime, you do the damn time. Whereas probably in India, they probably do have prison, but they're probably what? Probably a little harsher than America, but in America, we're harsh, but we're fair. That means you do your time in prison and you don't get anything whatsoever. I'll bet you, I'll bet you those people in India will probably complain to Trump and say, well, why you got our guy locked up in prison for? Trump's probably gonna say like this, well, he killed three people. We're not gonna release him. He killed three of our own he killed three of my own citizens. He gets to stay in prison. But the way I look at it, guys, and the way I look at it like this, all these India bot farms are already like going up in droves. They're going up in like astronomical because they're trying to drive the conversation, saying, "Oh, he deserves sympathy and all this shit." And yeah, and these are the same people in India who don't even have clean water, who don't even have like clean sewers, who don't even, for the life of me, have even a toilet in their house, and they probably squat to take a dump or piss. Yeah, to me, guys, to me, we should close the border. We should end visas for foreign truckers. The only exception to that would probably be what, Canada, because we Canada is like it has the same policies as we do in America, but ours is but they share the same strictness as we are because we don't tolerate drunk driving. We don't tolerate like vehicular homicide. We don't tolerate like killing someone with a truck or vehicle or because you got drunk and all that. We don't tolerate that. But these damn Indians who think that, oh, just because he's an illegal, you should give him sympathy. You should give him counseling or community service. No, we don't give that in this country. We're not like the Europeans. We're not like the Eastern and Western Europeans. Okay? We're not like them. We're not. We're all about law and order, tough on crime. You do the crime, you do the time. It's that simple. But the Indians, from my opinion, yeah, they really need to understand how our laws work in America. And this guy is going to find out where we don't fuck around especially in states like Florida and Texas. I'll tell you this: if he did this in Texas, he'd be on death row. He'd be on death row right now. He would be he'd be waiting on death row in Texas for it. But Florida, odds are he'll probably get like what? Life or 15 to life? Odds are, but to me, this is why the feds need to ramp up inspections on truckers. Because I tell you this, I've many times where I worked at, I've seen foreign truckers who don't even speak English, who don't even know how to read and write in English. Yeah, and there's a danger to that in this country. There's a danger. And the biggest danger is these truckers who don't even know the law, who don't even know the rules, who were given a license by progressive, liberal, leftist Democrats who wanted to be all touchy feely and feel good about illegal immigration, but then unknowingly gave license to people who don't belong in this country and who could conceivably kill someone. And I say this: the Democrats have blood on their hands for what happened in Florida. Democrats, leftists, liberals who allow illegal immigrants to get driver's license, commercial driver's licenses, are directly responsible for any death and injury that is caused by an illegal immigrant. Basically, they let them drive. And just recently, the Florida Attorney General said he caught an Ecuadorian illegal in Florida driving without a driver's license, drove a truck into Florida, and basically the state of New Jersey, which is what, a deep blue state, gave that illegal a commercial driver's license to drive. Tell you, tell you, man. This is why, ladies and gentlemen. This is why I've said this, man. I've said this. The feds need to start cracking down in this country. They need to go after the trucking industry and say, we can't allow blue states to give truck drivers licenses to illegal immigrants. We cannot. It's that simple. And the same goes for driver's licenses. They shouldn't be allowed to drive either, unless, of course, they have their green card and they're on their way to getting a U.S. citizenship or naturalized. Then it's a different story. But to give an illegal immigrant like a driver's license, the left is simply putting everyone in this country in danger. It's like I live in a blue state and I tell people like this: my blue state of Connecticut gives illegal immigrants drive only licenses, and they don't care if they're illegal. And I sit there and I go like this: they're literally putting my life in danger on the road in the state of Connecticut because some feel good liberal, okay, in some upper class community in, say, Avon, Simsbury, you know what I mean? Like that. Like saying, like, hey, we should give illegal immigrants driver's licenses and truck driver's licenses. Nobody's illegal. But then all of a sudden, they put everybody else at risk. They put everybody in danger because of that. They put everybody in mortal danger. So to me, ladies and gentlemen, I'm just going to say it like it is. And I'm just going to say it like it is here. Leftist, liberal, blue policies caused that truck accident to happen in Florida. And it's time the federal government crack down on blue states giving driver's licenses or commercial driver's licenses to illegal immigrants, like if it's fucking candy, and basically start mandating that they get inspected and these drivers have to pass the English proficiency test, which means they have to learn to read, write, okay, and comprehend English. If they can't do all three of those things, they get their licenses ripped away from them. Their truck gets put in the impound lot. Customs, like immigration and customs enforcement, comes in, takes the illegal, and and kicks them right back to their country where they came from. It's that simple. And then at the same time, guys, Homeland Security investigation should should start going through that truck company like a fine tooth comb. And if they find out that they're hiring illegals or giving them driver's licenses illegally, that truck company should be shut down immediately, and the owner should be hauled into court, paid a levy of a fine, their company and businesses closed immediately. And they have to pay civil and criminal penalties. That's how I look at it. That's how I see it. And to me, that's how you deal with like blue states who want to be all touchy feely and want to give driver's licenses or commercial driver's licenses to illegal immigrants. Yeah, to me, that's how you deal with them. That's how you literally go after them. And literally, that's how we end this nightmare. And that's how you get illegal immigrants off our roads. Because our roads were built and designed by Americans for Americans. And and if Democrats think that, oh, it's okay for an illegal immigrant to drive on our roads, I'm gonna say like this: fuck you. Fuck you. I don't want you putting my life in danger when I'm driving on I-84, I-91, or I-95, knowing that I could be driving next to a trucker who could be an illegal immigrant. Fuck you. Hell no. I don't want that. And if you're gonna do that, I think like this. We should like make it harder for leftists to vote in this country, and at the same time, ramp up enforcement in blue states. I'd ramp up enforcement so badly that I would put ICE agents in every Democrat state, city, and town. Watch how fast they would clean out that town in 10 seconds. Watch how fast, guys. Because I'm going to tell you right now, they will clean that town out so quick that by the time all is said and done, the illegals will be shipped off to Alligator Alcatraz, and then they'll be sent on their way back to their country where they came from. And America would be a lot safer and a lot freer without illegal immigrants. That's how I think should happen. And that's why I think this is why we need to get tough on blue states. And the fact that blue states are giving out commercial driver's licenses or driver's licenses to illegal immigrants and giving out EBT cards to lazy freeloaders, like if it's candy. If I were Mr. Trump, I would crack down on blue states to the 10th degree. I would I would revoke all federal funding to blue states and instead divert it to red states and say like this to red states: this money was originally going to go to blue states, but instead we're going to give it to red states because red states can use that money, know how to use it, and respect the rule of law and the Constitution of the United States. It's pretty much that simple. And then if the blue states want to cry and complain, I go like this: cry and complain all you want, because you wanted illegal immigration in your state. You wanted immigrants to drive on your roads, putting your citizens in danger. Well, you know what? You go have at it while the whole while the whole red states gets your money and gets to flourish while you get to flounder in your state. That's pretty much simple. It's pretty much simple. But moving on, ladies and gentlemen, I want to talk about this like press release today from the White House taking steps to end cashless bail to protect Americans. President Trump signed an executive order today to end cashless bail and to protect Americans in this country. Here's why cashless bail allowed criminals to flourish in blue cities and blue states. You have blue states like Illinois, Connecticut, okay, New York, and a host of others who have some form of cashless bail in this country where people who commit like minor crimes or major crimes don't will not have to be put on like some type of bail. They get put on like written promises to appear, which winds up they don't appear at all. But then the left wanted to get rid of bail because bail made it harder for their minority class to go to work or do the job that they won't do. Yeah. But I'm glad Mr. Trump is taking steps to end this cashless bail bullshit. And I know Dog the Bounty Hunter is probably going to agree with this. And I know he's probably agreeing with this too, because I look at it like this: cashless bail protects the criminals and endangers the citizens. Cashless bail allows violent criminals a revolving door of like going in and out and committing like offense after offense after offense, and nothing is done to hold them behind bars until their day in court. Traditionally, guys, when you get arrested for something, you are given a bail hearing immediately to determine whether you deserve to have bail or not. And if you can't and if you like can't afford bail, you call up like a list of bondsmen that's on the board, and the bondsman agrees to bond you out. He pays the bail. You pay 10% to the bondsman, but you also are beholden to the bondsman saying that you will show up at court that day. And if you don't show up at court, bounty hunter's like, oh, the bounty hunter come after you. Yeah. And then they haul you back to court, and then they revoke your bail. Then you're held until the outcome of your case. But the left thought that as like saying that, oh, it's cruel, inhumane, it's punishing. Well, yeah, jail's not supposed to be a punish. Jail's not supposed to be nice. Jail's a punishment. Okay, the process is the punishment. Okay, but the fact of the matter is, the left wanted to what? Empty the jails, empty the prisons, empty the county jails, and instead of holding people who are charged with a violent crime, letting them out with cashless bail and saying like, "Oh, here you go. Here's your written promise to appear. You'll promise to appear, right? Right?" But then they go back out, commit more violent crimes like rape, robbery, murder, home invasion, and all that. And then all of a sudden, when they wind up murdering someone, then they get held in county jail until the outcome of their case, and then they go straight to prison. Ending cashless bail will protect Americans. And we'll go after states that have cashless bail and say like this, we're going to look at every every conceivable federal funding or federal law that can basically deny these states who have cashless bail and say we're not going to fund you until you get rid of cashless bail. And I'll bet you, Dog the Bounty Hunter, Liam, Liam Chapman, he's probably singing happy and praising, going like this. Hell yeah, they're ending cashless bail. That means like this. I can go after these people in blue states and blue cities, and I can literally bring them to jail, and we can hold them there until the outcome of their case. And then the left will probably whine, cry, hoot, holler, have a temper tantrum, have a hissy fit because they can't be able to free their like they're minorities that basically do all the crime, and then luckily for us citizens, we have tools that can protect and defend ourselves. But I like this from the White House. Okay, I like this executive order from the White House. I'll read you this. By the authority vested in me as president by the Constitution and laws of the United States of America, I hereby ordered Section 1, Purpose and Policy. Maintaining order and public safety requires incarcerating individuals whose pending criminal charges or criminal history demonstrate a clear ongoing risk to society. When these individuals are released without bail under city or state policies, they are permitted or even encouraged to further endanger law abiding and hardworking Americans because they know that our laws will not be enforced. Our great law enforcement officers risk their lives to arrest potentially violent criminals only to be forced to arrest the same individuals, sometimes for the same crimes, while they await trials on the previous charges. This is a waste of public resources and a threat to public safety. And I like how President Trump wrote this. As president, I will require common sense policies that protect American safety and well being by incarcerating individuals who are known threats, and therefore the policy of my administration and the federal policies and resources shall not be used to support jurisdictions with cashless bail policies to the maximum extent permitted by law. So, which means is like this. Mr. Trump is saying, President Trump is saying this. He is going to go after blue cities and blue states that have cashless bail that allows these criminals who law enforcement arrests all of a sudden get thrown back out on the street, commit the same crime over and over and over and over again. So he's saying this. I will not allow states, okay, I will not allow cities and states to use cashless bail as a revolving door to allow criminals to commit like more heinous crimes and endanger the Americans' safety and well-being. I agree with that. That's gonna be a step in the right direction. That's gonna be the step in the right direction of like law and order, common sense, and we're gonna basically like this hold criminals responsible. Okay? And there's going to be a thing out there called accountability, which means we're going to hold them accountable. And I like this. And I like this from the Daily Caller. Trump's to sign an order aiming at limiting cashless bail in D.C. President Trump plans to sign an executive order Monday ensuring cashless bail is eliminated for criminals arrested in the nation's capital, a White House official confirmed to the Daily Caller. And I like this next paragraph. The executive order directs D.C. Safe and Beautiful Task Force to ensure those arrested in Washington, D.C. are held in federal custody to the fullest extent permissible under applicable law and to pursue federal charges and pretrial detention for such arrestees whenever possible, according to the fact sheet obtained by the caller. If the city keeps its cashless bail policy in place, the executive order permits the administration to potentially punish D.C. via federal funding decisions or other methods. So which means is this, guys. DC is going to be a test case on how the left responds to like basically trying to like saying, hey, we want cashless bail because we're all for Black Lives Matters and all that bullshit. And then next thing you know, who are the same people that are committing the same crime? There you go. So now they're gonna have a system now where like this. If you get arrested by DC or the feds in Washington DC, and it's a heinous crime, you're not getting cashless bail. You're going to be held in pretrial. You're going to be held in pretrial detention until the outcome of your case. And I know the left will complain, well, they languish in jail all the time. Well, hey, here's a question for you, leftists. If you want to defend these people so much, why don't you volunteer to be their be their lawyer? Why don't you be their public defender in court? Yeah, yeah. I would pay to sit there and see that. I would. But believe me, cashless bail basically ruined the bail bond industry, and especially in blue states. In blue states, cashless bail made made bail bondsmen very difficult business proposition. Yeah. Now that Trump is ending cashless bail and he's going to force the states to get rid of it, I'm telling you, if anybody out there who is a legal law abiding citizen or who is a retired law enforcement officer that wants to get into the bounty hunting business, now's a good time, ladies and gentlemen. And and I know Dog the Bounty Hunter was the first to introduce less lethal technology like pepper ball guns to the bounty hunting industry. I know a lot of bounty hunters would probably get on board with it too and go, hey, if Dwayne or Dog the Bounty Hunter did it, I'm going to do it too. I'm going to follow his footsteps, follow his philosophy, or follow his teachings and go like this. If Dog does it that way, I'm going to emulate like Dog. And boy, I'm a big fan of Dog the Bounty Hunter. I'm a big fan. I'm like this. If Dog ever came over here to my state and was chasing someone, I'd help him within 2 seconds. I'd say like this, Dog, you want me to go get your coffee and dinner while you're going after the guy? It's like, let him go after the guy. Go here, just get him dinner. But to me, cashless bail is probably going to make law enforcement happy because law enforcement is going to be able to do their job, get rid of the criminals, hold the criminals in county jail, which means they're going to hold them until the outcome of their case. And yes, they're going to be afforded a trial, and they're going to be afforded due process rights, which is afforded under the Constitution, which means they'll be able to challenge their charges in court. They'll be able to say, Your Honor, I want a jury trial. I want a trial by jury or trial or trial like any like either jury trial or judge trial. If you're afforded a jury trial, then fine. Then that means you'll be held in county jail while waiting the outcome of your court case. And if you're found not guilty, then you get released from county jail. But if you're found guilty, then you get shipped off to prison and you do your time like everyone else. And to me, I like the idea of ending cashless bail because I've seen what happens when cops in Connecticut arrest someone, and then next thing you know, they get like sent back out, and then they commit the more heinous crime. Yeah, and then they wonder why people in blue states like Connecticut, you can't defend yourself because if you defend yourself, you get your ass thrown in prison as well. And I hope Trump like makes it a federal law where you can defend yourself and have like what constitutional carry and national reciprocity on pistol permits. So, which means if you have a pistol permit in Connecticut, it is honored in all 50 states. There is no like, oh, well, I have a Connecticut card. That means I can only go to this state, and this state that accepts it. No more. I'm hoping for that. I really am. I really am. Anyway, I want to talk about this article, guys. This article really hits home in my home state of Connecticut, okay? And this is coming from the New York Post. Wealthy Connecticut town fights against a project that would build 75 affordable housing units in insult to Bethel. And Bethel, Connecticut, guys, is a wealthy rich suburban town in the state of Connecticut. It's in Fairfield County, guys. Okay, it's in what they call the Gold Coast. And the Gold Coast is where you see like houses that are $1 million and up. You see mansions. You see the most immaculate public schools in the state. More immaculate than what my hometown's high school or the one that I went to in my next town. Yeah, and I'll read you the headline. Oh, a little town of Bethel. Oh, little town of Bethel. A wealthy Connecticut suburb is facing a Manhattan-based real estate development firm that wants to build a 75-unit affordable housing project with well-heeled residents calling it an insult to Bethel's small town vibe. Okay, here, here's the gist of it. The developer, Manhattan-based Vessel Technologies, is warning officials in the Fairfield County town of Bethel that they face expensive litigation if they reject the company's 5-story, 75-unit apartment complex. So you got this wealthy town in Bethel who people make like what? More than I'll ever make in my fucking damn lifetime, ladies and gentlemen. They'll probably make like they probably make the equivalent of like what 120 to 150 grand a year before taxes get taken out, and they live in houses that are like what 500,000 bare minimum to $1 million. Yeah, but they complain about a 75 unit apartment and call it an insult. And I sit there and I go like this: what if this 75 unit apartment is for the town elderly, for the town's elderly population? What if it's for them? They'll probably be like this. Oh, if it's for seniors, then it's oh okay, then fine, it's for the seniors. But in this case, it's for like the working class. And this rich town of Bethel, Connecticut doesn't want like minorities in their town because white liberals would be like, oh well, I live in the town of Bethel or I live in the town of Avon in Simsbury in the nearest what like urban town where the minorities live or what in New Britain or Hartford, and they're saying this while they live in the rich suburban towns with well-funded schools, well-funded law enforcement, well-funded police departments, and they probably got some of the best volunteer fire departments in the state. Yeah, I'll read you this article from the Hartford Courant too. Controversial affordable housing developer tries again to get a foothold in Connecticut's wealthiest area. Okay, a half a year after Newtown rejected its affordable housing proposal, Vessel Technologies will learn soon whether it can establish a Fairfield County foothold by constructing a 75 unit in a new 5-story building in Bethel. Okay. I'll read you the next paragraph. There has been substantial opposition from residents, but New York-based developer this month hammered away at 3 points. It has offered a compromise for neighbors. Bethel badly needs more affordable housing, and state law leaves the town little ground for saying no. The reason why these white, wealthy class liberals in Fairfield County don't want affordable housing units. These are the people who who basically champion for minority causes but don't want them in their town. It's like the NIMBY thing, the not in my backyard mentality. They say they go at this. Well, we want affordable housing, but not in our mini mansion town. Maybe what, New Britain, Hartford, West Hartford, East Hartford, or what's the other one? New Haven or Waterbury or what? Norwich? But they don't want it in their wealthy town because you know why? They want to maintain that upper class lifestyle, that suburban small town lifestyle, but they don't want the minorities coming in to destroy it. They don't. But then yet these people champion the causes for minorities but don't want them in their town. If there's a thing called hypocrisy, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. If there's a thing called hypocrisy, there you go. There you go. But to me, I look at it like this. These wealthy towns don't want apartments in their town. The only apartments they're going to be okay with is those for the elderly and disabled. But for apartments for like minorities and all that, oh, they go up at arms, all that. They lawyer up. They get all the neighbors all riled up. That's why, for examples like this, like in suburban towns, like say Avon and Simsbury, where they originally didn't want apartments, but then sooner or later they were forced by the state, and the people who built apartments built it where it is so expensive that certain people won't be able to afford to live there. So basically, they were able to skirt around that by doing it like this. They went like this. Okay, we're gonna build apartments in our town of Avon, Simsbury, Canton, or Bethel, but we're gonna price out the minorities. We're gonna make it where it is so expensive that minorities won't be able to afford it. But then you'll have like what, the wealthy class that can afford it. Yeah. So so basically what Bethel might wind up doing to this like Manhattan firm that wants to put an apartment there, they'll be able to say like this, well, you can build an apartment, but you just can't charge any lower than this, any lower than this. Any lower than this, you invite minorities in. It's that simple. That's why if you ever look up on apartments.com, ladies and gentlemen, you can see the apartments in these wealthy suburbs of Connecticut, and the prices to rent for them are like what, two, two, three, $4,000. That's like enough for like a mortgage for a house in a middle class suburb. Yeah, that's pretty. That's how much it is. That's how much it equates to. But these rich snobs in Fairfield County, they all want to act like, oh, not in my backyard bullshit. Not my backyard bullshit. But you know what? If the state progressive Democrats force it on these people, I'm betting you, how fast do you think they're gonna flee the state real quick? How fast do you think they're gonna run out of Dodge before you fucking know it? How fast, guys? Tell me, how fast? How fast, guys? But I will tell you this. I will tell you this. If they finally put one in there, I'll be shocked out of my damn skin. But I'll probably bet you they'll probably do it and say, well, we're gonna do it, but then here's the hitch. It has to be an active adult community, which means a 55 and over or a senior housing community. They'll probably do that kind of deal. But it's a wait and see game. But I want to see how this pans out. Or as they say, it's a bold move. It's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see how it play. Let's see how it plays out for them, type of thing. Hey, that was a good show, guys. That was a good show. That was a good show, guys. That was for Monday. That was a good show. That pretty much was. But anyway, guys, I thank you for listening to Nikki's World. I'm Nikki, your host. I will see y'all soon. Bye for now. You just listened to an episode of Nikki's World. Thanks for listening. We'll see y'all soon. Bye for now.